Hello everyone, welcome to Gameside Chat, where today my guest of honor is Matthew Fenton. Hello Matthew.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, not bad. You excited to take a part in this?
Oh yeah, love this game.
Nice. Is that the only thing you play now?
No. One of two things
Good.
I play.
What's the other?
Witcher 3.
Nice, same. Right, what are we playing today?
We are playing Dota 2, an online MOBA.
Wow, if they ask you to sell this game, you wouldn't be the best.
No, I mean, I'm not being paid though. If I was being paid, it would be a different story.
Hey, come on, if this gets big, I'll pay you.
Okay. Do you want me to start again?
No, come on, enough of this shit. Right, so, I assume we'll be playing against bots, because I'm shit.
Yes, we will.
So, the last time the two of us played, do you want to make it... So, was it difficult the last two times, or... Because I'm pretty sure I can step it up maybe one more level.
Yeah, I can put it up another level. For you.
Would that be like...
Put it onto medium difficulty.
Yeah, would that be like stepping up from like semi-pro to professional? No, from professional to world-class in FIFA, where like you go to, ooh, I can beat them 4 or 5-0 to you step up one difficulty, and it's like, oh, now you lose 7-0.
No, you'd maybe lose 2-0.
Okay, so it's gradual-ish.
It's gradual, yeah.
Okay. Can you beat them? Because you'll have to carry us then.
Oh yeah, I can beat them.
Okay. Right, so... Go, set up the game.
Okay, we're going.
Right. I'm gonna have to... I think I remember the character I used last time. Is it Abaddon?
Yep, top left.
Whatever, I'll pick him again. And then lock in, and then I have to pick loadout or guides.
Either. I think probably still have the same guide selected, so it's just...
Yes, it is selected, yeah. Cool. Ooh, I can buy skins for money. £7. Whoa.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, no. Have you bought any?
No.
Okay,
I have not.
good. I respect you just a little bit more.
Ah, thanks.
So, Matt.
Yes.
Are you excited with the questions?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not like we've prepared this, huh?
No.
We didn't do this before.
I've got no idea what's coming.
Yeah. Just so people know, we tried to record this. It was an hour recording, and I forgot to turn on the audio. So just basically Matt answering and laughing to nothingness. So I can post that if you want. It'll be quite interesting to watch.
Yeah, you guess the questions then. It's audience interaction.
I'd actually tried to do that, and then quickly on I realized I have no idea what you're laughing at. It's just sometimes it's just big pause, and then you laugh, and then you don't say anything, and I'm just like, well, I have no context for this. Right, enough chatting shit.
Yes.
How long did you play the sport?
This is my 5th year.
Wait, hang on. Why can't I buy stuff from the shop?
You can right click, not left.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, go on.
So yeah, 5th year.
And I know I've asked you this before, but why did you join the sport, and how did you join the sport?
How? Because I was showed it by a housemate who said we should at least try it out, so I thought that's fair enough. We're at university now. Can't really just say no to things before you try it. And then I decided to stay because it was quite fun. It was a lot more sporty than I imagined upon hearing the name Quidditch. And I thought, it's like the people here are okay, the sport aspect's quite good, and it's another way to keep fit, so why not?
To be fair, at least you have a better excuse than Sam, because Sam said that he just heard Quidditch and he wanted to see what the hell it is, and he didn't even know it was going to be a sport as well. So he's like, oh, I was thinking it could be like a card game or something, so I was like, okay. And yeah, and it turns out that apparently on the first time he went there, they were still wearing capes and stuff like that. It was great. I bet you'd love that.
I mean, we had wooden brooms still, but there were no capes or bristles, so we moved on a little bit.
Fair. So what year was this?
2015, end of 2015, start of 2016.
Okay. Nice. What was your first opinion of the sport?
Messy, confusing, full of very keen people, I think, is how I saw it.
What? Does it differ to now?
No, it doesn't. I mean, my opinion hasn't changed. It's still messy, but it's still fun. Like, there's lots of things going on. You just got to get a vague understanding of that, and you're not in a bad place.
Fair. How long did it take you to actually, like, realize that, okay, no, I think I'm getting the hang of this?
Probably a month.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, to be fair, that's
That's
not
too
bad. That's not bad. Like, to understand a completely, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but completely weird sport.
Yeah, hybrid sport,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because for me, I thought I got it all figured out in my first training session because I saw a bunch of people just running through, and I was like, well, that's not too difficult. You know, I can do that. So I think my first few training sessions are just kind of like, well, what's all this fuss about? And then I quickly realized that, oh, maybe there's a little bit of tactics.
We try our best.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to rush a bunch of beaters multiple times.
Do you mean you still do?
And well, when I'm not injured, I still do.
Yeah.
Oh man. To be fair, it kind of sound like you prepared your questions. Well, the answer's not gonna lie.
Practice. Practice, that's all it is.
Practice, yeah. To be fair, if I fail this again, you have to be perfect this time, and you have to come up with like, oh yeah, like proper answers.
Okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, did you think it was did you think you'd get into it as quickly, or were you like kind of apprehensive at first?
I didn't think I would hang around so much. But I didn't go to the first tournament, which was Northern.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd only
Okay.
just started, and I was like, I don't particularly want to go and spend a lot of money on this straight away. And then the next tournament was BQC of 2016, and I decided
Mhm.
by then I'd actually got stuck in it, I think. And then there was me staying. And I went there and enjoyed it. I was like, right, this is not bad. It's alright as a tournament. Let's stick with it.
Did you ever want to quit?
No. I don't think so.
No, really.
Yeah.
Okay. I tried to quit multiple times, but my girlfriend didn't let me. So, yeah. I mean, and now, especially with my 2 broken knees, I think I was correct. I should have.
Should have
I
quit.
should have dropped. Yeah.
Should have taken a what's that thing professors do, lecturers do?
Sabbatical?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just have
I mean,
a
to
year
be
out.
fair, yeah. Yeah, I should have definitely. Because I started getting shit ton of weight since I came to uni, so probably I needed I needed this quarantine to happen for me to be in respectable shape now, which is kind of weird. But yeah. So, Matthew,
Yes.
do you have a favorite position to play? And are you basing it off any style? Or like any team that you've watched? Or maybe a certain player that you've played with or against or seen?
So I definitely enjoy being the chaser close to and around hoops. And kind of hanging around there,
Alright.
trying to do like the quick hands, the fancy passes, the finishing. But obviously people know that's changed now to be more like the keeper playmaker role.
Okay.
I kind of based my original play style probably I don't know off anyone in particular. I just kind of thought, well, I'm quicker than most of my teammates at the moment. I've got better catching.
Okay.
But I definitely like team play styles. They're like LQC style with that quick, slick passing. Everyone knows where the ball's going to be and where it's supposed to go and where they should be. That is something to aspire to, I think.
So is that like the personal style you want, or is that like the team style you're striving? Because I know you're coaching. I mean, obviously I know you're coaching. You're my coach. but-
Kind of the team style, yeah. Personal style, I mean, I think... Oh, what's his name? Seb is not a bad person to copy. Seb Waters.
I'm gonna sound
And-
ignorant, but who's that?
He's the main keeper for LQC and
Hmm.
one of the main
Okay.
keepers for UK.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Yeah, as you can see, I don't really know people in this sport. I should probably try to, but for some reason, I don't know. I'm just gonna die, so I'm gonna retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, just leave me. Oh no, no. Nope. Yeah, he got me.
He did.
Yeah. Man, I'm crap.
It's because you keep walking in when you've got no health.
Well, I am.
And you're not
I'm
using
a
your
tank.
abilities.
I'm meant to be a tank.
Yeah, you would be if you used your stuff.
That's true. Well, to be fair, it's a perfect analogy of my Quidditch tactics, I guess.
And to be a tank doesn't quite work out.
Yes, yeah. Oh man. Right. Do you have a moment where you realized that you were ready to be a coach, or like ready to be a captain? I guess. Let's start with when did you realize you wanted to be and you were ready to be a captain?
Yeah, so our kind of club captain at the time wasn't always present.
Mm-hmm.
And so it often came up to me and or Hugh to lead the sessions.
Okay.
And I enjoyed doing that. I enjoyed trying to help people get better. I enjoyed kind of using my generic sports background to try and help people.
What sports is that?
Cricket.
Mm.
To kind of help people with their handling and that. And I had a vague grasping of the tactics. I was like, well, this isn't bad. This is nice. And like trying to encourage people to get better. And I enjoyed doing all that. And then it came shortly after that when our captain got injured and couldn't do a tournament. I was asked to step in as captain for the tournament.
Okay.
And then I enjoyed doing that as well, just trying to lead the team, trying to lead by example, trying to keep everyone motivated. It was nice, and that was fun. I enjoyed doing that. So I figured from there, next time there was a vote for who was going to be the captain, I would step in and try and get voted in.
Okay. So what about as a coach?
Kind of, it stemmed from there really, because back then the captain of the club essentially was the coach as well. So I got a lot of practice from there, and then yeah, basically from that. So I was captain coach for kind of a year and a half, and then stepped back and realised no, I actually do enjoy the coaching a lot. So I would want to do that again.
Okay.
And it kind of went from there. So then when this new team was being set up, I stated a desire to be a coach and was luckily accepted as that, and I've just enjoyed trying to learn new things, trying to develop new tactics, and just trying to improve the team.
Alright. So how do you go about making tactics? Like, how do you go about, I guess, identifying the fault with the team and then going on, right, we need to change this, this, and this, and then you come up with a solution?
A lot of watching footage and watching stuff back and just using that as a basis really. So in this play we tried to do this, but the defending team stopped it. If we were set up like this, how would we do it differently? Or if the defense does this defense, and we kind of see, okay, where's the gaps, where's the space on the pitch, and then trying to build a tactic and a play style that would work around exploiting those gaps.
Okay. So do you ever just wing it sometimes? Like, especially, like, obviously you have a setup, defense or attack, whatever, but have you ever had a moment where you're like, oh shit, like I see this, just like this is going wrong?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely, especially mostly
any
on
specific games come to mind?
Not necessarily games, but training for sure. I mean, there's one training where there was just, I started doing something and kind of everyone cottoned onto what I was doing, and following it through from beginning to end, it worked really well. We ended up scoring off it. So I was thinking, well, if I can actually develop this into something useful and written down and with proper thinking behind it, maybe it can become a tactic, and it is. We use it now.
Okay. So have you come up with stuff that, like, brand new stuff, or is it just like, oh, I've seen like Team X do it in America or whatever?
I don't know. Maybe some of it's new, but that's because maybe I just haven't seen it or noticed it. But I mean, a few things are definitely copied off teams that have done it before. So like, especially like America defense, because I mean, if it works for them, why not try it over here and see if it will work against these teams?
But you do try and hybridize it. You don't just go, Team X does this, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Okay, that's good. I mean, to be fair, that's what I do, I think. But yeah. So what resources do you use?
Making tactics?
Well, I mean, like, what resources do you use to, like, find footage of teams and, like, look at the tactic, and then make the tactics themselves?
First thing, go to YouTube and try and see if there's footage of a team. Like, if I've heard, oh, this team does X quite well, I'll try and find just footage on Facebook, then YouTube, even if they've got a YouTube page or they're prominent in one division, try and find more footage of them via that page or tournament, for example. Okay. And then,
but how do you know it's like they're the specific team you're looking for, or do you just look through a bunch of teams?
But I'd say a lot of it is recommended. So I mean, there's a few YouTube videos where they go over tactics and teams that do that well, and then once I think, oh, that's something we could do or looks interesting, and try to do it ourselves, and then delve deeper.
Okay. But like Matt, be honest, is it ever frustrating to teach tactics to like people?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When you're trying to do something and you have to repeat it about 5 times because people either aren't listening or just don't get it. And then you start trying to do it and they do it completely wrong even after the repetition. You're just like, oh my goodness me. Yeah, it can be a struggle.
I bet you're thinking about me, aren't you? I'm very guilty of that.
Not always.
Yeah. Not always, but most of the time, yeah?
Yeah.
So do you enjoy like coaching?
Yeah, I do. It's fun. It's nice to see your ideas maybe come to fruition, or you see people grasping your ideas, and then when you see the kind of the light bulb moment in their head as they go, oh yeah, this actually works quite well. Let's keep doing it. That's nice to see.
Okay, fair. Yeah. So, how do you ever, like, I know obviously because we're playing in a team with friends, yeah?
Yeah.
How do you do it? How do you manage to convince your friends that you actually know what you're talking about?
Sound confident when you speak. No,
does it work?
Not always. I mean, I guess kind of initially voted in by the team, you've got to hope they've got some faith that you actually know what you're talking about. And since I've been playing for quite a few seasons now across different teams, so QPL, and then the normal regular season, and now kind of dropping into X-Fan recently as well. So I've got all that experience from those other more experienced coaches as well that I definitely try to use to bring back to the club and improve. So I hope they trust me, and I hope they think that.
I mean, to be fair, you would have been kicked out if it wasn't. So
that's true.
Fickle. And it's not like we've been playing badly. I mean, second place in Northern, and then
EQC.
What place in EQC qualifier?
We got 4th. Yeah, 4th.
See? Yeah, not bad. Shame we can't go, but what can you do?
Yeah. Typical.
Yeah.
Conspiracy from someone who couldn't make it.
How well would you think we'd do if you went there? I mean, especially now that no one can prove you otherwise.
I would like to think.
I thought that was you next to me. Sorry.
I would like to think top 5, 6. Looking at teams that have been there and kind of getting some idea about how well they do from people who may have seen them play or people from that home country, for example. But yeah.
So you think we wouldn't place? We wouldn't get a podium place, or?
Well, I say top 6 reservedly, and confident. If I was being confident, I would say top 4, 3.
What about realistic? Let's go.
First, realistically.
No, but seriously.
I don't know. I would say realistically top 6.
Okay.
I think that's a fair thing to try and aim for, especially because it's being our first season as well. We don't want to experience in those teams.
What do you think can make us, do the extra step to becoming at least a little bit closer to a team like Raptors, or?
Just training and hard work, like training outside of Quidditch, putting that extra, I don't know, half an hour in every day of exercise, whether that be a run or just some kind of like
just anything but not playing video games.
Yeah, just making sure you keep doing work, even if it's like 15 minutes, half an hour of simple things like press-ups, sit-ups, leg raises, or a run. Because then we don't have to worry about trying to come to training and you've got people who can't necessarily keep up because they're not as fit or whatever.
Yeah.
It means we can last longer, which means we can train longer. We can train when we're tired, and we're still going as good as we could be when we're not tired.
Okay, fair. So what about so that's like physical preparation, yeah? But what about more mental, I guess? So like maybe also like you should do you give your players homework, sometimes for like, look, you should listen to this tactic, or we should watch this team play?
I've definitely put tactics up that I want people to like read through stuff that I've tried to come up with for the team and maybe gone through in a training, then said, hey guys, can you just read this, so that for when we come back next time, you know what I say when I mean what I mean when I say this, even. And I've definitely tried to encourage particular groups to say, okay, watch how this person does this in this game.
So like you identified like a fault in their game, and then like, look, this is how they deal with it, or?
Oh, even like this person does this really well, so when we kind of get into this situations, look to try and do this as well.
Okay. Fair. And do people do it?
No, not always. I think there are some people that at least read the stuff I send, like the tactical stuff, and they seem to and want to try and do it and try to learn and try to get better. But I think there's not saying some people don't want to get better. I just think they don't want to put that effort in outside of Quidditch into improving, which is fair enough because not everyone's as committed as others. So that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you were, we'd be professional. That's more. What? Oh, I just got flanked, mate.
You did.
Yeah. Where are you?
Top.
Oh, okay.
I've moved.
So I'm holding down the bottom by myself then.
Yeah. Hey, you can move around as well if you want to.
True. No, but you said the bottom is the easiest, so that's where I do it. Yeah. So do you reckon? So you pretty much said like to make us do the next step, it's physical preparation.
Physical preparation, and I think a bit more work on the coaching and tactic side. So we'd like when we go on pitch, we know where everyone's going to be during a set thing. Not have to worry about someone being sat out of position or whatever.
So is that like a responsibility of the coach to be like, look guys, you have to do this, or for the players to recognize I'm missing something?
I think
like
it's a bit of
to actually do myself.
It's a bit of both because I have to also be there trying to encourage them to do it in a way that doesn't sound bossy and kind of say, look, if you want to get better, can you please have a look at this? But it's also on them to be like, okay, he's asked me to do this, which means he must have identified something that we need to work on. So
yeah, because most of the times it's not an insult. It's not like, look, Bob, you're shit, you know.
Yeah.
Get your life together. It's more like, look, you're a good player. Otherwise, you wouldn't be, you know, where you are.
This team, yeah.
But here's a little thing, a suggestion from a player that's been playing for a bit longer.
Yeah,
you know?
That's the thing. You got to hope they don't see it as an insult and see it as a help.
Yeah. Actually, so I was going to ask you something. How do you cope with, not cope, but like, so obviously you're not the most experienced player in our team.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you deal with, or like how do they react to when you try and coach them?
I hope they listen. If they disagree, then it's fine. They can have a word with me. I don't mind because obviously there are some people that have been around longer, so I want to listen to their opinions on what I do as well.
Okay, yeah.
Because I can't just shut it out because that's not right. So you should always try and be looking to learn and respect opinions.
But I mean, like, do you ever feel like, not pressured, but like, do you ever feel like, well, why the hell am I teaching them? You know, they've been playing for like, whatever, 5 years, and I've been playing for 3 years. I should know. Well, they should know more than me.
Maybe a bit at the start, but not so much now, I guess, because I think I've got their trust, or I feel like I've got their trust.
Okay.
So
that's true.
That's helped a lot. And just experience as well.
Yeah. So do you think you've improved as a coach over I mean, when did you first start coaching? When was your first coach role?
My first coach role was I would say, within my first year of joining Quidditch.
Okay.
So like, I started sometime in like October 2015, and by kind of September, October 2016, I was asked to kind of help teach people at the Freshers' Fairs and kind of be in charge of things. So I guess you could say that was my first experience. And then properly after that, it was probably around May 2017? No, April 2017.
So was that... Oh, that was Manchester, wasn't it? So,
yeah.
So you think you've improved?
I think so. I mean, I've definitely learned a lot more stuff. I think
so what do you reckon you improved in?
Me personally, or like as a coach?
As a coach.
As a coach.
I don't care about you as a player.
I think I've got better at reading other teams and looking at how they do tactics and trying to see how that would benefit how we play. I definitely think I've got better at seeing, like, okay, they've just done this play, I recognise what that is now.
Okay.
And probably just having experience at seeing these in game has helped me be able to explain them better. It's like coming up with ideas to try and teach them to people. But yeah.
Did you have fun while doing it?
Yeah.
Or is it stress?
Depends on the day. Sometimes it's stressful, sometimes it's not so bad.
Fair.
But no, on the whole, I definitely enjoy it.
Fair. So what would a person that's like, you know, they're starting their coaching career, what would you suggest them now that you're, you know, old and wise?
I would suggest watch footage of teams that you feel are better than you, and then watch old footage of your team to see what's the clear and obvious errors are, and then just kind of don't worry about potentially getting crazy new tactics in your first 2 weeks. Just work on getting everyone's base skills up, like catching and passing and shooting, so that you've got a basis to work on, so that when you actually get to properly try these new things, you've got the foundations, which makes it easier for you to get going, basically.
Okay, fair. So, obviously, because we play for Olympians, yeah, and we've had little stints where we didn't. I don't know how you say, but like basically, because we've done stuff where we went to other teams and helped coach and helped, maybe not coach, but maybe offer suggestions. So like, at what point would you draw the line between you being like, look, I know better, and at what point, like, look, you actually need to figure stuff out on your own? So like, how do you walk that line between not coming off sounding like a dick and trying to be helpful?
I guess you've got to ask, when you go into these other clubs, just have a chat with their captain and coaches beforehand, so you know exactly what's expected of you, because some might be like, hey, completely take over because we want to like learn from you, so it's fine if you get a little bit bossy, and some are like, okay, don't take over so much, we're going to be in charge, but you just come in every now and again to assist. And it's just kind of making sure that you know what the coaches expect, because obviously the coaches should have the team's respect. If the coaches have said, are letting this happen, then you would hope that the team would follow. Okay.
So do you enjoy helping out the teams?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you want everyone to get better, because if everyone's better, the competition's better, which means the games are more interesting.
Yeah.
So like, helping them is helping us in the end.
Yeah, true. I mean, I know it's a bit of a controversial topic because people talk about it a lot, but what's your take on, the unique community team split for the, for the divisions and stuff?
I don't necessarily think it should be uni community split, but I do think there should be a split with like leagues based on, like, maybe base it on the last year's BQC performance.
Okay.
And then, because
so like relegation promotion stuff.
Yeah, so that you eventually you will get the teams in a league where they are playing teams closer to their skill level. Because there are some uni teams obviously very good, like Southampton, Edinburgh, and there are some of the community teams maybe not as strong as the others. So you don't want to put them in just with community teams, because they might not get anything out of it at all.
Yeah.
And likewise with the uni teams, you don't want to just put them with some other uni teams where, in general, the uni team standard is a bit lower. And you don't want to put, like, say, Southampton with a team that's really fresh and got a load of kind of maybe not had the best coaching, or maybe doesn't have the best opportunity to get better, because they're just going to not get much out of it either. So we want those teams of a similar skill level to be in those leagues.
Okay. I guess another thing. So what do you think of, like, people stacking teams and making, like, 16 different, not feeder clubs, but you have like a team has like 3 or 4 teams of their own, like A, B, C, D, E team. Like, what do you think of that? Like, how does that impact the sport?
It very much depends on their kind of zone they take people from, because if like you're in a big city with lots of people, then I think it's absolutely fair that they have more teams, because there's a wider pool for it to spread out, and at the end of the day, I mean, it's as long as the coaching is consistent throughout the teams, then at least all teams have a good opportunity to get better.
Okay.
Whereas if maybe you're coming from a area where there's not so many players, and then you're kind of keeping all the talent in one place, as it were, it seems a bit harsher on the teams around. Because they're like, oh, this team's better, so why would I stay with my uni team? Because I can just go to this team and win things.
Fair. Oh man, I think we're doing quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, because I'm taking all the downstairs by myself, so you're welcome. Oh, I don't even know how it's called. I call it downstairs. Amazing.
Lower ground.
Yeah. Do you reckon we'll ever go pro, man? As in, not us specifically. I mean, like the sport. Or like certain players, maybe.
I think you would need this kind of league change so that you have a almost exhibition league at the top. So kind of like, if you've got one league that's showing lots of good games and showing that the game can be played at really high level, and there's not very many absolute trounces of teams, where one team just dominates
Okay,
another
so
by
like
too
a
much.
proper Premier League sort of thing, like Premier
Yeah.
League and Championship.
Yeah, so that you can see, okay, these games, we're going to have a lot more closer games, which is going to make it more interesting to watch for people from the outside.
Okay.
And maybe we'll bring the sponsors in because it's like, okay, this thing's getting watched now because we've got a lot of good players. You can bring in the sponsors and you can start paying the teams, etc.
That's true. And I guess like maybe I know it's a small thing, but maybe we shouldn't do like how you remember like in the tournament when the guy making burgers for us is like, wait, this is meant to be a proper thing. Why are you guys eating burgers?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that was funny. I mean, it's just small things like this, but
No, it
I
goes
guess.
a long way.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like I do get that, you know, we're here to have fun, and if you're here to be professional, it's like, well, you're kind of in the wrong sport, so you should pick something else than Quidditch, because I don't think it'll happen. I want to say in our lifetimes, in terms of like as players, I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, same.
Maybe like if the sport survives for maybe 5-10 more years, maybe we'll see like first professionals.
Yeah. I would hope
But
so.
definitely not here. Maybe in America, but
Yeah. That's the thing. Because obviously there are some people that don't want to take it seriously, and that's completely fair. Because that's...
yeah. So how do you walk? How did you walk that line? Like, because I know it's not as bad in community because you can always kind of pick a team that more suits the needs you want. But when you're in uni, how do you? Because you coach at uni level as well.
Yeah.
How do you walk that line between making sure that people, you know, there's people that want to win, they enjoy, and then people that are just there to have fun, they enjoy as well?
It kind of comes with the trainings. You've got to say to people and kind of give an option of, okay, in this training, we're going to spend this amount of time kind of working on, I don't know, less serious stuff, as it were.
Mm.
And then we're going to spend this amount of time working on the more serious stuff. So if you just want to come for this bit, that's fine. I'll say like between 1 and 3 is kind of open general session. We're going to work very generic skills we're working on, and then from 3 till 4 it's going to be like hardcore and really work on tactics and stuff. And then people can decide which bit they want to come to. But then they've got to know from there, once it comes to fixtures, like picking for tournaments, that those people that didn't maybe put as much effort in as those that stayed longer are going to be lower down the picking order, and shouldn't expect to get picked if there's people that have been coming for the whole 3 hours and doing the tactical stuff.
Yeah. It is difficult though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is hard.
Like, we've obviously had trouble sometimes.
Yeah, between differences of opinion how the sport should be trained and played.
Yeah. But that's what, like, I guess that's what divisions might help with it a bit.
Yeah.
Because then, yeah, because like you won't have this assumption of like, well, your uni team, you're shit. Like, because no, that will poison the sport.
Yeah.
You know, just imagine imagine you're very good for your level, but you're not yet good enough to step up. You would be kind of discouraged because people would be like, well, you're shit. If you were good, you'd be playing for a good team.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of seems like sometimes, and I know this might sound harsh, but it almost sounds like bullying sometimes. You know, like when because you can always be objective, like, look, this player's not as good as me. But sometimes it seems to be walking the line of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, well, you're shit. Like, you will always be shit. It's like, yeah, but no.
No, if they've just had maybe the same opportunities as you did, it would be easier for them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like obviously, like because I had a sports background, you know, it'll be easier for me to pick up on the basics. But like that doesn't mean that, you know, another person from this team that, you know, maybe they haven't played sports for, you know, their whole life.
Yeah.
They might be better than me. They might have more potential.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? But like it's just this opportunity lacking.
Yeah. That's why if you are playing at a higher level and have the time to maybe go and spend a training session with some other team that isn't maybe at the same level, then you should try and do it.
Yeah.
It helps.
Because that's what we try to do with some of the less experienced teams. We don't try and go like, look, we're good, you're shit. Like, sit down while we show how awesome we are. It's more like, look, we know like we're more experienced, so we'll let you like kind of skip that step a little bit, so you don't need to spend maybe the year figuring it out. Like, we can help a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
And I guess that's how it should be. Like, I feel like a lot of teams are very negligent with that, and they're more like, oh, I'm good, I don't need to care about the rest of people.
Yeah.
That was a bit harsh, wasn't it, for me? No?
Maybe. I just think there's a lot of people that maybe could help out more than they are, but then again, that's kind of depending. We don't know their schedules. We don't know.
No, yeah, I know. Like, it shouldn't be like you have to, like, because you've played 5 years, you have to spend, 20 years of your week, 20 years, 20 hours a week, preparing this team. But like, you shouldn't be surprised when a team doesn't perform as well as you hope they would, and like, if you don't do anything to help out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because at this rate, like, and I guess it's my opinion, I don't know if it's yours, but it kind of seems like the sport is kind of dying, just a little bit.
I think uni teams are finding it harder to recruit, which is a concern. Because they're essentially the people that are going to feed the uni teams at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
They need a way into the sport, so... Yeah. Maybe leagues would help with that as well, because maybe there are some freshers that go to Northern for, say, or Southern or whatever, and not have a good time because maybe their team's not as well trained as other teams, that they get destroyed, and that's no fun.
Yeah, because no one likes losing for, like, 40 minutes in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that people actually need to start talking, and I guess it's kind of encouraging that people are realizing, look, there's a problem. We need to start doing something about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, for the amount of, I guess, shit I give this sport, I really enjoy it. And it'd be kind of annoying, because my sister's joining uni next year. And I was like, oh, you should join Quidditch. It's a fun sport. People are, on average, great. I mean, there's always going to be dickheads and assholes. Like, that's just,
it's
just like, in every community there's idiots. But, like, on average, there's a lot of good people. They're very accepting. So it's a very good thing to have and a very good uni experience.
Yeah.
So if it's going to die, she won't be able to experience the things I did, and it's going to make me kind of sad in a way. Oh. Are we getting absolutely smashed? Oh no.
No, just me.
I want to steal some kills. Let me steal some kills, please. Come on. Sorry, this will be a little Dota break. Oh, he ran away. Okay, I'll back off. Yeah, because it's kind of hard to continue this when you're
concentrating.
Yeah. So, Matthew.
Yes.
You're an X-Band player.
Yeah, recently.
How does that differ from not being an X-Band player? Like, okay, let me rephrase that because that's a horrible way to phrase it. So, what does it take for a person to go from good player, to good player that's on X-Band, to then good player that's on X-Band to be on Team UK?
The good player to X-Band, you have to show consistency in what you're doing and kind of a clear desire to do better. And I guess putting in that kind of maybe a little bit extra work outside of training and showing that, okay, you are grasping these tactics your team's coming up with, or maybe you're the one coming up with the tactics. And just kind of making sure that when you go to tournaments, you're not just having one good game, maybe you're having 2 or 3 good games where you show a range of skills. And then you kind of, once you're in X-Band again, I mean, there's a little bit of pressure now because I feel like if their coaches are watching, I feel like everything I'm doing is being a little bit more closely watched than before. But it's a good experience because they're obviously giving you lots of new ideas in training, and their tactics are feeding down from the very top, so you get to learn what the top players are doing and get an opportunity to practice that yourself, whilst getting some high quality teaching.
Alright.
I guess then.
Do you enjoy the pressure, or is it too much?
No, the pressure's good. It's good because it kind of makes you think a bit more about everything you're doing rather than just blindly running in and going, okay, I usually do this because it works. It's more like, okay, what's going on now? And how can what I know make this better? And making sure that every decision is thought about that split second longer, perhaps.
Okay, fair. Oh. So do you enjoy, like, what's a typical day for, I guess, a training? Like, how does it go?
So, it's a standard kind of, we arrive, we get told what the plan of the session is before we start, and then we do a warm-up, and then maybe we go straight into half courts or games just to kind of get warmed up and thinking immediately, and then we go from that to maybe doing a broken down tactic, like doing a half cut of it, and just making sure that we spend some time on that, and then maybe we'll have a bit more of a break and come back and to do some maybe skill stuff, like skill practices, split up chases and beaters, and then we'd go over the tactic again, and then we put some games in, and then end cool down.
Okay.
So it's definitely a lot more kind of tactics and using that in half courts and games to make sure that you understand it.
Okay. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah,
enjoy
definitely.
the training days? Do you not feel like it's too long or too short, or?
No. I mean, it's good. It's good. If you've got a whole day, it means they can actually properly drill in what you've been taught and practice what you've been taught, and you like get a lot more time with the coaches and the people that know what they're doing.
Okay. I have a question that's kind of like, I mean, to be fair, we can just play the next game, and then like I'll just cut it off if you're finished, and then we can just play on just for fun.
Okay.
But how did you handle the transition between a captain and a coach? Like, how do you see those roles? How do they differ from each other?
So, for me personally, a coach is the bad cop, and the captain's the good cop. So you work with your captain, maybe, who has mainly the coach is the one coming up with the tactical ideas and making sure like training's directed kind of the way they want, and then they liaise with the captain to make sure that everyone's kind of happy and understands well what's going on. And then when it comes to tournaments, the coach is the one kind of making sure people are doing what's been taught in trainings and kind of being the more... What's my thing cut out? No. Being more kind of angry, can be the one that's allowed to get angry to try and encourage people to sort them. If something's not going very well, kind of making sure, enforcing, hey, you know what you're doing, do it like this instead of like this because this isn't working, but you keep doing it. And the captain's then the one saying, okay, I know he said it in a nasty way, but take it as encouragement. And they're the ones kind of, captain, morale boosting, liaises between kind of the coaches and the players. Maybe if there's something someone's not quite getting, that the coach is maybe looking up for something else, and the coach is the kind of bad cop. Make sure the tactics are being done.
All right. So do you reckon? So you know how like in sports like football, maybe other sports, like the captain is sometimes like the motivational person as well. So they can like if they think you've done shit, like they will tell you you've done shit. So do you think that's something that won't work with Quidditch, or do you reckon that's something that will only work with if that's the kind of environment you're in?
Yeah, I guess it depends on the team. Like, if you know your captain's only saying you're not doing very well because you actually are not doing very well and it's nothing at all to be mean, then I think that's definitely depending on that. Some people obviously don't take some negative criticism as well as others, and you kind of need to make sure that when you're talking to them you say it in a different way so that they're still being told the message but they aren't being crushed inside by some...
No, but then I guess that just shows the skill of a captain to realize, like, look, player A needs to be like, look, come on, get your shit together.
Yeah.
While player B is like, oh, you know, you haven't been doing too bad, like, but like you can improve.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. But do you reckon it comes with experience, or is that something you can pick up in Quidditch, or is that something you kind of have to, quote unquote, be born with? You know.
I think it helps if you're naturally kind of more charismatic than
okay, so not you then.
People. Not me, no. But I think it's something you can pick up kind of as you watch trainings and watch how people respond to different things, that you can definitely pick up, especially how differently people react to different things, and use that as your kind of arsenal for teaching.
Another question. So, what are you a fan of? Are you a fan of the coaches going, look, I think this guy will be a better counterbalance to my coaching style? Or would you rather have the team pick up the captain?
I think maybe the coach should have a little bit of input, because if the captain is someone the team picks that they don't work with well at all, like on a personal level, then it's not going to lead to great things, because there's going to be disagreements on tournament days, and it's not going to make life that easy. But I mean, at the end of the day, the captain is the one that has the team's interest in heart, so should be chosen by the team because they want someone who's going to represent them potentially. Represent them essentially. Yeah. And so I think they have to have an input.
Okay, so do you reckon it should be like, we have a team vote, but like the coach gets like whatever +2 or +3 votes instead of, or how do you reckon? I mean, I know it's kind of a hard question, but like,
The coach strongly recommends a candidate, and the team.
Okay. And whoever disagrees gets fired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that okay? All right, I can stand with that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, we got kind of lucky with this year, and I will be talking with Joe at some point, as long as I find a good game to play with him, and not just like Cards Online or whatever, Minesweeper Online. But yeah, because I'll be asking more of the captain's side of Quidditch.
You might say something completely differently to me, and that's really tough.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like, I actually hate Matt, as well. Because I'm trying to ask, like, because obviously you guys have different perspectives, because personally you're different people, but also you have different roles.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously, like, I've played with you guys, and obviously, especially when you have, like, team talks and stuff, I can see you coming in and, like, being very annoyed, and then Joe, on the other hand, realizes that, like, maybe he needs to be more supportive for the team to get it. So it's kind of like, how does like those two styles clash, and like how do you deal with it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Whew. Questions. Right. QPL, mate.
Yes.
What's your opinion? And also, why didn't you join the Angels, man?
Because I was offered
No, but seriously,
money.
That's true. So, what's your opinion in QPL?
I think
Honest, hard opinion on QPL.
the concept is a very good idea.
Hmm.
Potentially the way it was done was not great. Because I think having opportunities for people to learn from maybe people that they usually play with, or from people with more experience in the sport during teams, like during the season as it were, is a very good idea, and I think it should be done more often. Like, QPL can be still going, but I would definitely change the fact that there's clearly flaws, because there are teams that get absolutely stacked, which is, I mean, that's fair, because in some sports there are teams that get stacked anyway, but
yeah, like obviously London, it's like you can't really do anything about that.
Yeah. But I think there's just got to be maybe stricter rules on where you play and how you get into that team. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, the talent should be spread around, because that way the league's going to be better, because it's going to be more interesting, because you can have more even teams.
Yeah. Well, it's like, the funny thing is, because the same people that are annoyed at the fact there's not competition, they actively kill out the competition.
Yeah.
So it's like, instead of being like, ooh, I want to play against the best, it's like, no, I have a team of the best. Like, I have, I'm the Barcelona Real Madrids, and then I'm going to join, like, Russia's second league, and like, oh, where's the competition, It's like, well, what did you expect?
Yeah, definitely.
People are not just going to magically get better because, And I think that's why I kind of tried to do Northern Angels as a development team.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these players, like, especially now, like, I've seen them after it, and I've seen, wow, like, this was useful for them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't useful because, I'm a god of coaching, I'm like, I'm a tactical genius or whatever. No, it's just because they were given opportunities that they were probably not given before.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of these players were just, receive the ball on the wing and just do something with it. But, like, now, like, they had the confidence to be... Sorry, I'm struggling, but I'm dying. That's why.
Sorry, I'm coming.
Yeah, so now they have the confidence to actually, do something with the ball, do something creative. Because, like, players like Amit, Dylan, Lewis, they came into my team, and I could see how they weren't too confident.
Yeah.
But then watching them back, in the first tournament, so it was at Northern, I was really happy with the way they've improved. And it's just those small things, like... So I think that's why QPL should have a development side, because, there's not much opportunity to play Quidditch in the summer, but, like, there should also be a competitive team as well. What's your take on that?
Not gonna lie, you broke up then.
How far did I break up?
Still breaking.
What's the last thing you heard?
Oh, nearly there.
What's the last thing you heard?
So you just finished talking about people at Northern.
Wow, I'm gonna have to remember this. But basically, what I think people will hear what I said. But so the thing I asked you was, like, what's your take on perhaps having some teams be development teams, and then maybe either make a league for the development side as well, and then obviously last day you'll come in and play together.
Yeah, I think that would work. I mean, it just depends on the travel, because if you don't want, if there's a development team in the north, they don't particularly want to be driving to
That's
London,
true.
and vice versa.
Yeah, because it was kind of, but it's just I'm just saying it from like, because it was difficult for us because we were clearly outmatched in every single game, and our, I guess, marker for improvement was the points tally, so the difference in points, I guess.
Yeah.
So like we went from getting maxed out every game to then getting minus 100, minus things. So for us that was an improvement.
Yeah.
But like, and I'm glad that a lot of my players actually saw that as improvement and not like, oh, we're just shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a hard question.
I mean, there's those players as well. Like, if you come to QPL to train with more experienced people, and they will learn, and that's the point. Like, as long as.
But then they got to realize that they're there to learn, and they're not like going to be played as often if it is to be a Premier League.
Yeah.
To be fair, because it was such a difficult line to walk for me, because I'm competitive as hell, and I wanted to I wanted the Northern Angels to win the North, but also I needed to realize that, look, probably not. It's like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. No, it's just where you've got to talk with your team beforehand, isn't it? And just have an honest chat. This is what we're going to do.
Did you enjoy coaching that, like... Did you actually have... I think I used you as a coach for some of the bits.
Yeah, I think there were times when you and Fish weren't there.
No, mate, no. I've been to every single training, so don't give me that.
Nah, you were. I saw you.
No, I was, yeah. Okay, anyways, go on.
What? What's the question?
Well, you started answering. I asked you a question like, how does it differ to coach, I guess, to coach and manage QPL then?
Oh, you can be a lot harsher in QPL because they've paid a lot of money to be there, and they've kind of chosen to be there. And I guess because it's a selection process, you're supposed to have the ones you want on your team. So you can be a little bit harsher with the way you train them. It's like making them do more difficult stuff and making them train for a bit longer because that's what they've paid to do. And at the end of the day, QPL is clearly labelled as this kind of competitive league, and thus if you're playing for a QPL team, you should be there going in with the expectation of training hard to get better because the QPL team wants to win.
Yeah. But then, like, at the same time, and again, it's very harsh, and obviously, like, it's kind of hard to build a business, but like, especially how in Europe you had no idea where you're going to end up. Yeah, so you could be living in whatever in France, and you could end up playing for, like, what's the farthest team away, Belgium or something.
Yeah,
and you'd have to commute however often. So it's like, how do you actually improve? How do you learn? Your player. How do you learn to get chemistry with your players? It's a ridiculous ask. Sometimes.
Yeah, I guess in those cases, in those kind of teams, you kind of have to expect less of them because it'd be harsh to expect them to come to every training and just hope when they do come, you can make those trainings long so that it's worth their while and that you can do a lot of work with them.
I mean, you say this, but like, it's probably not even just a weekend long. It should be like a week-long training. Because then, like, I actually want to know if anyone ever watches this or have like any interest in this podcast. Like, I want to know how many times you went to training if you played for Europe and QPL.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you're from that country, like, you have less of an excuse. But even then, it's like, imagine if you had a British, just like a team in Britain, just one team, and you're from Edinburgh, and the trainings happen in London. It's like, well, how often would you go there? It's just kind of like... I like the idea of QPL. I really enjoy it. And I enjoyed coaching as well.
Yeah.
Like, it gave me a lot on a personal level. Just like, you have the responsibility and you have to, teach people, and like, you have to learn how to talk to them and get your ideas across. Because I'm really bad at this. Like, I die. But like, I'm really bad at this. Sometimes I can just come in with... I mean well, and then like I can just say something and then instantly realize, wow, that was much harsher than I actually intended to. So I can come in and be like, you're shit, but I actually meant it like, oh, you should try this better. And I'm like, but why? So I guess it kind of taught me how to like stop and think.
Yeah.
which is a valuable, skill for a lot of people. But yeah. Would you coach
QPL? Maybe, but not soon.
Okay.
I think there'd have to be a few changes before I agreed to coach QPL.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. Right, Matthew, I have officially run out of questions. Is there any, I guess, fun, controversial topic you want to bring up, maybe? Or anything you want to ask me, or...
How am I as a coach?
Shit. No, to be fair, you are kind of a good coach, and I'm saying this, and I guess I want to say it means kind of a lot for me, because, my ego is fucking... Sorry. My ego, no swear word inserted, is massive. And I we've had this before where in trainings you said something and I just look at you like that's not the right way to do it, and I may have perhaps expressed that in a bad way with that, but for me to admit that you're actually a pretty good coach, you should take that as a bit of a, you're not too bad, man.
I'll take it. I appreciate it.
But yeah, it's because, especially for me, because I come from a football background, and I guess the way I've been trained, and obviously Russia football system is it's harsh. You go into you train football, and your coach is this 50-year-old massive man who's not afraid to swear at you. He's not afraid to that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and for me, coming into Quidditch, realizing that's not a style a lot of people are familiar with, it's it's a shock to the system, So I think you've managed to earn my respect kind of quickly on.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something the faults that you have. I mean, I think sometimes you're a bit too soft, but then again, that's kind of my opinion, and
yeah,
and it's kind of because it's easy for me to judge because I'm not, if something fucks up or if fights happen, I'm not involved in them. So I guess it's your burden, not mine.
That's true.
Right? Do you want me to kiss your butt anymore, or
no? That'll do.
Is this enough for the video? So anything else? To be fair, if Mariana's listening, she can ask some questions as well.
She can't hear.
Oh, okay, good. To be fair, I don't think I've ever asked. I'm probably gonna ask her as well because I want to see the president's point of view on making it seem that sort of stuff later. So if she'd be up for that.
You'll have to ask her. She's currently in work mode.
Oh, fair. Fair. Yeah. So anything else you want to bring up?
The inevitable heat death of the universe.
I mean, it's inevitable. What can I say about that? They'll probably die before... the universe won't die before Quidditch, so...
You sure?
I mean, to be fair, for some people, Quidditch is the universe.
Yeah. Like me.
And I mean, to be fair, if you enjoy something, why not?
Yeah.
Who am I to judge? I play Football Manager on 4 or 5 hours a day. I guess the only thing I have a problem in Quidditch is that how people use that sometimes as a thing to say that they're better than other people because it's more of their hobby.
Yeah.
Because for me, it used to be a thing. Obviously, I want to get better, but I wouldn't spend as much time as some of these players would on thinking of tactics and shit. So yeah.
Like me now.
Yeah, exactly.
What quarantine has become.
Oh god. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you that. So obviously I know the answer to, but for people that might be interested, how do you deal with this quarantine? In terms of your coaching setup, what do you guys do to set that up?
So, I mean, I'm spending a lot of time analysing footage and trying to come up with new ideas for the team and just kind of thinking about how we can train next and what we can train better and what I can do to make the team kind of gel a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely, and then we're having chats with the other coaches saying, okay, I've come with this idea, what do you think? And kind of getting that dialogue going and just making sure that we're all on the same page so that when we come back we can say, okay, we've had a chat about this and this, and this is what we're going to do going forward. Let's get going.
Yeah. Because it's kind of a good opportunity for us as a team to be hi, this is some stuff we've been missing on. Like, you have nothing better to do. Please, like, watch the thing I spent, half an hour on. Or not half an hour, like 3 days on making.
Yeah,
Do
definitely.
you reckon people would actually look at it?
I hope so. I would hope so.
Did you
But
post
okay.
anything yet?
Not yet. That's what the meeting's going to be
Okay.
about.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a good thing for us to keep thinking about it, because, we want to come back strong. We don't want to just, like, have this, 3-4 month gap of just nothing.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, if people can just put, I don't know, some exercise in every day just to make sure that when you come back, everyone's still match fit, as it were. Not match fit, but can cope with the training. That'll make
Okay.
a lot of difference as well.
I just rushed people. That was incredibly stupid.
You did. I'm watching you fail.
Like, I swear I'm gonna change this, like, from Gameside chat to how not to play video games, and it's just all sorts of video games gone wrong. Because, like, I'm doing kind of an XCOM series as well, just for myself, and a lot of the times, like, I do things and then I rewatch it back and I'm like, but why? You just run into a bunch of aliens just to get slaughtered. It's like, what were you thinking? What was your thought process?
Who needs a thought process?
Yeah. But at least, like, now I have an excuse because I'm talking to you, so I'm focusing on something else.
Yeah. It's a good excuse.
Yeah. Yep. Right, so do you think we should end it there, or do you have anything else to add?
I don't have anything else to add. If you've not got any other
Okay.
questions.
I mean, it doesn't help that a lot of these questions have been asked to you before, so I'm kind of trying not to make it, like, practice. Because a lot of the times, like, I know your answers, but, like, I don't know if you've told me this at the start of it, or if you told me last time, so it's like, I don't know. I guess I should try not to screw up this recording as well.
Let's hope not.
Okay. So I guess that'll be the end of the video. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for listening, people. Thanks for having me, Timur.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And I hope it's not going to be too long, because I don't want to make this a two-parter again.
Nah,
Okay,
fine.
thanks for watching.
Thank you.
And,
Bye.
yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.